Watson, I do think we have quite an interesting case here, but I think we can figure it out. So let's see what happened. This is a forensic scientist. What is a forensic scientist, you might ask? A forensic scientist is someone who uses clues found at the crime scene to put together the events that happened. These clues include DNA evidence, drugs or toxins, identifying materials such as clothing or shoe prints, and anything found on or in the body. These clues are used to discover the time and manner of death. Once these are discovered, you may be asked to present this evidence in writing or as court testimony. I do think this is an interesting case, Watson, but I think we can figure it out. Let's go back to the lab. To determine if becoming a forensic scientist is a field for you, you should consider the following. Are you able to work with graphic, gory, violent, and otherwise disturbing evidence? Able to work fluently with a team or independently? Able to show strong communication skills as well as skills in mathematics and sciences? And able to problem solve using logical explanations and attention to detail? If so, this could be the field for you. To become a forensic scientist, you must have a bachelor's degree in biological sciences, chemistry, and/or forensic scientist. Other degrees, such as statistics and archaeology, or continued education can help you in your field. Work experience, or job shadowing in a lab, is also useful for gaining experience and getting a job. Once you get the job, on-site training will occur. This usually lasts less than a year. As a forensic scientist, there are several levels within the job. These range anywhere from lab assistant to head forensic scientist and researcher. Your position, as well as other factors such as employer and education, help determine your pay. The average pay for a forensic scientist is around $58,000, with the upper 10% making over $97,000. This average pay can vary from employer to employer, increasing with state and federal jobs. As a forensic scientist, there are two different ways you can take your career. A crime scene investigator goes to the crime scene to gather and record evidence. They also conduct some tests to interpret the evidence. A technician stays in the lab and conducts in-depth tests to shed light on the events leading to and after the crime. These jobs have similar duties but can change your work environment. As a crime scene investigator, your hours, they could be office hours, or you could have to have an on-call job or work overtime. You must wear protective clothing to prevent contamination of the evidence. Your setting would be either at the crime scene, which could be anywhere in your jurisdiction, which could be your county, your city, or your state, or you could work in the laboratory. Your location could really be anywhere. Crimes can happen anywhere, and this field is used all over the world. And your hazards include harmful chemicals or contaminated bodily fluids that you might come in contact with. As a technician, you typically would only work office hours. You may have to work some overtime. For clothing, you must wear lab-appropriate clothing, closed-toed shoes, no loose clothing, etc., etc. Your setting would be in the laboratory. You may occasionally have to go to a crime scene. Your location, again, anywhere. This happens all over the world. So, there's that. And your hazards, again, harmful chemicals and contaminated body fluids. If you choose to become a forensic scientist, you can be sure that this job will always be around, because there will always be crimes that need solving, and there will always be more ways to make interpreting evidence easier and more efficient. This is a very competitive field of work, with only 17,000 jobs offered in the U.S. as of 2019. However, this number is expected to increase by 14% over the next 8 years due to advancements in evidence collection and an increase in cases. This means that by the time you would become a forensic scientist, there would be around 20,000 jobs available. As a forensic scientist, you will be working in a biochemistry field. This means you are working with the chemical processes that happen in the body. This is shown in several ways, including identifying DNA, discovering drugs or toxins in the body, and understanding decomposition of the body after death. If this is the job for you, please call this toll-free number 1-888-888-8888, or call this email at thisisafakeemail.com. Thank you for considering a forensic scientist as your job.